Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Dual Hearts. We're done rummaging around in Florence's subconscious for a while, but we did only get to about 40% completion, so, you know, we'll be back. We know where she is. Sleeping. All the time. Room 201, right there on our map. So yeah, Bumble suggests that we go pick up the second orb. So we'll go do that, but unfortunately on the way there we're going to have to meet about half the cast of the game, because we failed to do that in the first set of cutscenes. Recuperate, you say? Does that mean she'll be sleeping? Sounds like a golden opportunity. I mean, we did kind of get away with something. Sort of mulling around in Florence's brain without any repercussions, but, you know, in for a penny. Not creepy at all. Unfortunately, this time, Val's here to stop us. As it turns out, she functions as a better foil for us in her fake day job running this inn than she does moonlighting as a treasure hunter, in which she is completely incompetent. She's like some kind of reverse Batman. It's a little weird. But anyway, Chiffon's on our creeper map now, room 202, so once again, we'll clearly be back here. I like how Bumble kind of gets stuck in the railing here. In fact, he even fails to teleport through it. Way to go, man. Anyway, that's one new person met, and Bumble's distracted by food, probably. Basically just be zigzagging from place to place around the island, drawn by Bumble's nose, until the end of this video. Welcome to Cafe Abbas. That's Abbas right there, behind the counter. Presumably he hasn't seen any real food, since he's never been to the real world before this. Oh, come on. You just learned how to do that trick in the last cutscene. Notice that Abbas can't actually hear Bumble speak. He's responding entirely just to the trick. I guess it's good enough for some flan, though. Suck it down. Keep milking it for all it's worth. Yeah, so this is a free tummy point refill item, right? Now, as it turns out, I'm kind of fast-forwarding through this. This is actually a side quest, which we'll find out after we get through Stompy basking in the glory. Again, everybody knows about the Temple of Dreams. It's not really a secret. It's kind of unclear why Stompy didn't show up here in the first place. Anyway, here's our side quest. This place is a gift shop. They make stuff from Sonno stones. Remember what Florence told us about? Way back in one of the early cutscenes? Yeah, we'll get on that. Ho ho ho, what is this guy, Santa Claus? Wow, actually, kinda does look a little like Santa. But apparently he knows Abbas, so he must live on this island. And honestly, we don't feel like it, so I will not be participating in the side quest. I'll get a little bit more on that later. Okay, I didn't need that. Anyway, so the side quest here. Okay, health does not work like that. Be quiet. Anyway, let's get out of this place first. And not quite done yet. Who the heck are you? Theme park. That's what I was thinking. This is a little weird. We've kind of stumbled into a Harvest Moon game for a little while. Phoebe. We'll be seeing more of her later. Once she checks out a room at the inn, obviously. Anyway, so the side quest for Sonno stones basically entails us scanning the island for priceless materials made from shooting stars and trading them for dessert. So now we will not be participating in that. It's the only way to get flan, and all it does is refill Bumble's TP. And since monsters drop Esmons like candy, we really don't need that. Talk to Florence, we don't really care about her while she's awake. Check down this well, and just show it off as soon as I actually get inside it. This is one of the locations where you can find Sonno stones over the course of the game, but again, we won't be doing that because it's not necessary. We're going to continue to talk to Florence pretty much every time we run into her, because there's actually an event that triggers sort of at a random time that I don't really remember. This is not that event. This is the game beating you over the head with foreshadowing. Check this guy out. He's got a harp so he can play his own theme song. Yeah, I know, because it was really rough. Anyway, the important thing is, we never saw him again. Position. No, we're still not done. There's an entire new screen of people to talk to. This is the primary village portion of the Sonno Islands, which means it's got about 3 houses on it. Rumor. Got one of those. That's just a rumor. Anyway, in we go. This, by the way, is the house those 2 weird guys came out of, and there they are. How convenient that you should be talking about that, just as we pass by. They wash shock. So it's weird that these guys are freaked out by the sheep when it passed by, but didn't notice Bumble at all the first time. I guess they're making up for lost time. I love the shock look in his expression right there. Perfect comedic beat. I like to think that the little brush hats they're wearing are kind of like the equivalent of tinfoil hats. Kind of like something they wear to keep people from getting inside their dreams. This actually, by the way, is why the sheep gives you exactly 1, so that you can trade it in this little cutscene here. You know, I smell a collection side quest. This obviously is where we exchange them for items. Sheep. Sheep. Oh god. What was he doing in the bucket anyway? I'm kind of curious. Transforms from a glowy ball to a solid ball. That's a little odd. Usually our orbs transform into things like swords and spears. Still doesn't explain why he was in the bucket. So anyway, this is where we can enter the sheep's dream when he's not giving us a force tutorial. Sure, it just happens. It's not like they're not made of gold or anything. Anyway, we've got 3, which is the maximum you can have right now, which actually gets us a second item. We get a Sonno Stone, which is the automatic reward for having 1, meaning we already have 1 to trade for Flan, which I will do when I need it, but isn't really important. More importantly, for 3 Sonno Stones, we get the Mystic Hourglass that allows us to freely change between day and night, which we will be using liberally. It's not worth anything. Jeez. We get victory poses from both of them in this thing. It's great. Effectively, what this item does is it allows you to look at the Baku, which is what we would normally do to talk to him, and record his poses as he does them in the field. I guess the next threshold for exchanging from Goldie Summons is 50, which means we're nowhere close to getting it. Hello. Out of my way. Of course. Jump is still mapped to talk. Sigh. Go check out this blackboard. Nothing going on here. Get out of this place. By the way, if you didn't catch their names, they're Yars and Tucker. I don't know who the hell names people in this game. This scene seriously gives me flashbacks to Ghost Trick with the crazy family with the daughter, the mother who was a novelist, the daughter who just hated each other. It can't possibly end poorly. Granted, the forest is only about 1 screen, you know, and the whole island is about 6 screens, so it's not like she's gonna get lost. Spoiler alert, she does get lost later in the game. Why would she talk about the dog sleeping to herself? Still, it is awfully convenient that we heard about that as we were passing by, meaning, since people here are just unbelievably enthusiastic to talk about their sleeping habits, and sleeping habits of other people and their pets, we've got a clue. This is our first optional dream. We're going inside the dog. This ends poorly, let me just tell you now. I'm going to try to compress the stream as much as I can in terms of minimizing the footage to show it all. But this is by far my least favorite level, so just bear with me for the next 4 minutes of this video. Oh yeah, it looks pretty much about as simplistic as you expect a dog's dream to be. He's got a gigantic version of his own doghouse, complete with a bed and a toilet, which we'll see as we pass by. By the way, you also may have noticed we saw a tummy up fragment at the top of the hedge as we were sort of panning over the dream. We'll definitely be picking that up. The gist is that we can play a mini-game with the dog. Where's the beef? The first of 5 stages. We'll wander around trying to collect 10 pieces of meat, eventually bring them back to Parfait while he sleeps in the dream. No, we cannot go a level deeper, by the way. The problem with this game is the method in which you're told how close Parfait is to waking up, which you're attempting not to do over the course of playing this level. Check this out. There's this translucent image of the dog's face directly over your field of view, which becomes more opaque as you do stuff, including making noise, and you make more noise depending upon which surfaces you're walking over. This bridge is a particular offender, which means you're continually trying to squint past the dog while you're watching the Baku and Stompy run around. Also, there are sheep. There are always sheep. I love how he's still bugged out. God, he freaks out over everything. Anyway, we have about 10 seconds to run over here and charge attack this sheep with the spear. Sort of knock away his energy, just be a complete jerk for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that the dog will wake up. The placement of meat, yeah, there's one right there. There's also, oh god. The scenery's talking to me again. Oh no, it's just a sheep. This sheep I hate. So you can hit him with the spear charge attack again, just like you did with the inner tube sheep, but that doesn't do anything. In fact, it even gives you the incorrect puzzle noise. The correct answer is to use the sword. Let me tell you, this sheep comes back in some of the later levels, and he gets increasingly difficult to get to. He will blow the bugle about every 5 seconds, and it will come dangerously close to waking up the dog. That, by the way, is what happens when you get very close to waking the dog up. You can see a gold Essamon underneath the bridge. I believe, at least at the time I was filming this, they have to float down from an above ledge to get there, so I'll pick it up on a second run. Oh. Quiet you. We've got collectibles to acquire. The placement of the meat is semi-random in the sense that you'll pretty much always find certain pieces in certain places. Let me get that 10-map over there on the left. It's our first major collectible for this level. So for example, there's almost always exactly one piece of meat underneath this hedge. Granted, for now, I'm just following the path of rings, which basically takes you past pretty much everything. This is the first level we can pick up all 100 rings. We can do it right now. We jump on this bed, which makes noise, potentially comes very close to waking the dog up, but is essential because there is an HP up on top of that dresser, and this is the only way to get up there. Make another second try, get through. There's the toilet I was telling you about, a gigantic bowl of dog food. Sometimes there's a piece of meat here, sort of in between the fence and the wall of the house. But that only becomes relevant in later levels where there's like 20 pieces of meat in the level. Notice these same bombable pyramids that are here, that were also in Florence's dream, so I'll have to come back here once we get, you know, the bomb. Hello. So, I mean, he's kind of there, like, he's not actually sleeping. I'm not really sure what the picture of the dog is supposed to be. There's a mailbox over on the left. Sometimes there's a piece of meat on there. It's annoyingly difficult to get to, considering how hard it is to get a camera anywhere. And, there's one more sheep up here. There we go. You can't really see it because, you know, the big stupid dog nose is in the way, but he's balancing dishes in his head for some reason. So, aside from that, there's also this weather vane which you can't avoid because the meat's right there that really comes dangerously close to waking the dog up. All in all, it's just an incredibly aggravating level to play through. But I guess it's worth it because you pick up 100 easy rings and most of the items are way out in the open and easy to get to. So I might as well do it now. There's a gold Essamon on top of the hedge, and there's a tummy upper that we saw on the pan. All I have to do now is get back to Parfait and pick up our reward, you know? Yay, yay, alright! Yeah, walking on the hedge apparently wakes him pretty quickly. There we go. Alright, so what do we get? Presents! Dream Energy. Spoiler alert. All of the rewards are Dream Energy. We get unceremoniously booted out of Parfait's dream as we do this. We'll go back and finish the level tomorrow on the next episode of Let's Play Dual Hearts. I'll see you then.